And welcome to the Celebrated Nightly News of Calaveras County. And I've got to go do a technical thing, so Kim's going to do all of our welcomes.
Welcome to our weekend entertainment edition. Hope you're having a great Thursday evening. John just got back from a meeting in Avery. Is that where it was, John?
Yes, it was.
On fire clearance, right?
Yes.
So we will talk about that in a few minutes. I will go ahead and start off with today's news. Let me see here. I wasn't planning on being by myself. Of course, my computer's acting up, so one moment, please. Let me see. The Michelson's elementary students today received some free dictionaries. John, I'm having a glitch with my computer. My computer's frozen. Here we go. Okay. Let me see. First, to top off the news, I'd like to talk about third grade students at Michelson Elementary School today learned the meanings, spelling, and pronunciation of the word philanthropy today, as they were all given the ultimate literary reference guide. 60 children in all were presented with their own personal dictionary, made possible by a coordinated effort between the Vallecito School District and the Angels Murphy's Rotary Clubs. We have some nice photos of that with these happy children. From what I understand, after speaking to one of the teachers there, these are one of the nicest dictionaries they have ever seen. I guess the actual word is written in blue, and then the writing is written in black, so it's very easy to
read.
Yes, easy for the kids to read and understand. So that was a very nice deed that went on today. We also have some more school news. Science Day explodes with enthusiasm at Hazel Fisher School by Brett Loring, the Pine Tree Peddler. Hazel Fisher students got to play detective during Science Day this week, thanks to Stewardship Through Education, who funded the materials for the special project. Wendy Harrison coordinated volunteers, including her husband and newest Vallecito Union School District Board member, Wayne Harrison, for teaching and monitoring 3 different science stations for 3rd through 5th graders at Hazel Fisher School. So we have a cool story by Brett Loring and some cool pictures of the kids doing science.
Sometimes that coordinating your husband part is
I try, but it just doesn't work.
That's
I try
the
to
hardest,
coordinate my husband, and that's one thing I do fail at on a daily basis. Doesn't listen to a word I say.
Oh, I do too.
But you don't. Okay, you might listen, but I go out the other ear. I feel like you don't listen. Anyway, we also have the minutes of the Calaveras County Fair Board meeting that was held last evening. The 39th District Association held a board meeting on January 14th. They also elected their new 2009 committee assignments, and they are as follows.
And we'd like to welcome you on cable and apologize. We had a glitch with a connection. For some reason, it was...
Well, sometimes everything can't be perfect, but here we are now. That's all that matters.
Well, but...
Welcome to the Celebrated Nightly News.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, to our entertainment edition. We are just going to be talking about the new 2009 Executive Committee for the Fair Board. Executive Committee Chair, Stephen Couts. Vice Chair, Tim Follendorf. Bob Trinchero. Marketing and Fair Programs Committee Chair, Talabal Al-Rafiq.
Talabaya Al-Rafiq.
Vice Chair, Kathy Campbell. Finance Committee Chair, Ron Ashwanden. Vice Chair, Gay Callan, and Bob Trinchero.
I bet she's never had her name mispronounced.
I bet not. Operations and Maintenance Committee Chair, Gay Callan. Vice Chair, Kathy Campbell. Rules Committee Chair, Tim Follendorf. Vice Chair, Kathy Campbell. JLC Representative, Tim Follendorf. Sorry about that. Frog Jump Committee Representative, Kathy Campbell. And they do have an opening for another Frog Jump Committee representative. So.
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do. And let me see, some of the things they talked about at the meeting last evening were, let me check here real quick. They did a finance report. No finance committee was held, I guess. The current cash flow update was discussed by CEO Malerby. He noted that the majority of the payables holding involved payment and reimbursement of the rubber mats, of which the fair received a grant from Integrated Waste Management. They appointed Ray Malerby as CEO, Secretary Treasurer. Gosh, I think it's been a long day. Sorry about that. Let me see. President Counts spoke of the CEO's evaluation. He stated that while some items were discussed, the executive committee wanted to set some goals for both the CEO and the fair for 2009. He requested input regarding goals and any problems noted by the board to be forwarded to him within the next 2 weeks, and the committee would meet again to complete the evaluation and report to the board in February. Let me see. CEO Malarby gave a report that included an explanation regarding the lack of problem with cash flow in the years prior to 2006 and why they continue to have a problem. Let me see. That looks like about it. The marketing manager, Lori, spoke about their new brochures for the RV park and community commercial exhibits. The meeting adjourned around 6:40 p.m. And I think that's about it for the fair meeting last evening.
That was it?
Yeah. Now, where did you go tonight? You went to a couple things this evening.
I did.
Just got in the door about 5 minutes ago. Literally. Yes.
There we go.
Are you ready to talk? Or want me to keep yakking?
No, I am. Let me get here. And tonight we are coming to you live from Bear Valley, and we're going to talk a little about what's upcoming stuff here in Bear Valley for the weekend.
Yes.
But also, Rusty, this is what I went to.
Okay.
And we'll have video of
You didn't even tell me where you were going, so I didn't
on this later.
We'll talk
We
about
went to an informational meeting from the property owners of the Love Creek, Moran Creek watershed areas.
Okay.
It was at the Avery Middle School tonight, and basically what it was is SPI owns a... Now, SPI, for those of you who don't know, if you're watching this, following this corridor stuff, Sierra Pacific Industries has had a checkered relationship with the residents of the area, to say the least. And this was a meeting.
I was just going to talk about Bear Valley for it as soon as you were
Okay.
done. And see
All
my
right.
inbox.
I know.
You want me to turn off my email?
No, we were having a lot of issues with connections, but it doesn't
Okay.
matter. No, it's fine. You're up.
Okay.
It's up now. One of the thing of this meeting is if you're not familiar with some of the controversies in the area, SPI has had a somewhat rocky relationship with some of the Ebbets Pass Forest Watch, some of the environmental groups. And some of that stems from some of the older practices of clear cutting.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a very nice meeting tonight. Now, basically, the Tim Tate, who is the SPI, was head of SPI for the whole Sonora Calaveras region, was there and did a presentation on a piece of property that they own that's 1,100 acres that is in between Love Creek, the Love Creek area, and also in between borders Blue Lake Springs, most of the neighborhoods on the south side of Highway 4 in Arnold. Now, one of the things that people are worried about is looking at some of the fires that happened this last year in some of these neighborhoods, is because the Darby fire several years ago came really close. It burned some parts of burned up to basically Love Creek. Mm-hmm. So it was just jumping a road away from starting to actually burn into the Arnold neighborhoods. And the one buffer property is the 1,100 acre parcel that SPI owns. And what SPI is suggesting is that they basically put a fire break down the middle of that parcel.
Okay.
And I really think with some of the, evolving forest management issues and some of the fire issues, I think there's really room now for common ground between SPI and some of the groups on things like tonight. I don't think that SPI ostensibly made some of these the presentations on quote-unquote enemy territory, with all the property owners there. But I think everybody came away favorably impressed, because what they're looking at doing is not a clear cut. It is a fire break to where there were people from CAL FIRE there and other things attending the meeting as well. But basically, their parcel runs about 1,100 acres down the top of a ridge. And they wanted to have it so if a fire is coming up out of the canyon, like the Darby fire coming out of the Stanislaus Canyon, that it would stop or slow down a fire before it hopped that ridge and started burning into Arnold.
Okay.
So this was a very lengthy. It was very thorough on exactly the types of thinning, and they have to file their plan with the Forest Service on how they're going to do that. And it's I think was a very nice meeting, and I think that the people from SPI and the people from the different groups and stuff were on the same side of the fence. They were on the same side of the fence tonight, and then we'll have the video up later. If you are a property owner in the Arnold area, it is something that is probably a something really good for you to watch, because I think this would impact your property, some of the fire preparedness issues and things like that. So I think it was a good meeting.
Good. Okay. And you went to a basketball game?
I did, and the Avery Hawks came up a little bit short against Ione today.
Okay.
They came, I think it was 31-24. We took a little bit of video. Man, there's some talented young players. I mean, these kids play. I mean, they really play hard. They play well.
And they're young.
And they're young.
Yes.
Yeah, and they take it seriously. They played very well. And unfortunately the Avery Hawks came up a touch short.
Okay.
What that kind of segues in is tomorrow night we'll be doing some more basketball. We will do our first basketball broadcast of the 2008-2009 season. And now as we get into
2009. Oh no. Oh, okay.
yeah, as we get into league play,
okay.
We will do at least a game a week going forward in through league play. And so we will be there tomorrow night, and I believe they play. We'll be at Bret Hart Stadium, the auditorium there, and they're going to play Ripon Christian.
Ripon Christian, yes.
All right.
The JV starts at 4:30. I'm sorry, Frosh at 4:30. JV
I think
6,
so.
And then varsity at 7:30. So we will start broadcasting around 7 p.m. That's our goal. So
we will
hopefully to see you tomorrow night. That's our goal, right?
It is.
Yes, we will have Scott Sirocco joining us doing play-by-play.
Yes, he will, and we
Yes.
want to thank Scott because he
Yes.
helped us out a lot
during football.
during football season as well, and he does a very nice job, much better than.
Well,
me.
you were doing everything yourself. That made it. You were doing camera.
Yeah, I guess one of those
play-by-play,
things is sometimes when we do these things.
broadcasting from internet to cable.
Did you guys have any of those? Did anybody growing up ever have one of those toys that is like the monkey that does?
It's amazing that you can multitask when you really want to. Because you actually did very good with those games. I was very impressed. It's choosing when you don't want to multitask.
Well, see,
Anyway.
I can't do it all the time. It's so stressful. I have to save up
Yes,
for it and kind of
for those football and basketball games.
Yeah, kind of peek and do it. Anyway.
There was an accident today at the fire department in San Andreas.
Yes.
Which we don't have all the details on yet. We got a report coming in that a person had run over themselves with their own vehicle at the San Andreas Fire Department. We do know that it wasn't an employee.
Right.
Correct. And we don't know how serious their injuries are.
No, we got the report.
Oh, we did?
I thought you put it up.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
It came in at like 4 this
Oh,
afternoon.
I didn't. Never got it. Sorry.
Man,
I've been slacking. I didn't see it, John.
Slacking, Kimmy.
Was it serious injuries?
It ended up being minor.
Minor
I'll
injuries.
pull it up
so
right
thank
now.
goodness. It was scary at first when you see that kind of stuff coming
We'll try
through.
to have our...
We called. They weren't allowed to,
Because of HIPAA stuff, they couldn't
yeah,
say.
they couldn't have, release any information. So thank goodness it was just minor injury. So
Man, Kimmy,
sorry, John. I know I've been slacking. I've been taking care
You've
of
been
kids, doing homework,
slacking.
cleaning, doing everything. Plus
Here we
working
go.
on top of that. I'm such a slacker.
EFAX. Yeah, it came in at 4:05.
I didn't have any. Sorry.
Man.
We
We'll pull
also
it up
had the
right now.
first Relay for Life meeting this evening for the team captains. And we have a nice article written by Victor R. Claveau. Some call it the Big C, and he talks about
Yeah, some sobering stuff. What's
Some
some of
sobering
the
stuff on
stuff he
cancer.
said in there?
it comes in many forms and affects every one of us in one way or another. It does not discriminate people of all classes and ages, rich and poor, young and old, children, men and women. All of us in some way are touched by the specter of cancer. One victim is a small child, another is an old man, here a youth, there are middle-aged women. Fortunately, most of us go through our daily routine without having to pause to dwell on the subject. And so he goes on to with a very nice story on cancer. And they did have their first team meeting tonight, so getting ready for the 2009 Relay for Life, which is held in April.
Mm-hmm.
The Tuolumne County Sheriff's Department will be hosting a town hall meeting at Lake Don Pedro on January 21st at 7 p.m. Sheriff James Meal will be hosting a town hall meeting at the Lake Don Pedro Hacienda Hall in LaGrange. The sheriff and his staff invite and encourage all residents, I'm assuming if you're Calaveras, you can go too if you wanted to attend this meeting. These meetings are for the community members who discuss community issues and work together on these issues. So this gives you an opportunity to meet with the Tuolumne County Sheriff and his staff.
Very nice.
Kind of nice.
Now, can I have this
Yes.
pulled up now on the accident?
Okay.
All right, and it happened about 11:40 this morning, and you never know when you see these come in, the severity of them. This one came in, and it kind of raised some questions that, you'd hope it wasn't.
Minor injuries.
Yeah, and it was minor injuries, so all's well that ends well. And Gwendolyn Clark, a 49-year-old from San Andreas, was driving had parked her 1997 Chevy on the south shoulder of Churchill Road outside her residence. P1 exited the vehicle without setting the emergency brake. The vehicle began to roll backwards, and P1 attempted to re-enter the vehicle and stop it. She was pushed backwards into the eastbound traffic lane of Churchill Road and fell to the ground. The vehicle then struck her and continued to roll backwards across the westbound traffic lane and struck a barbed wire fence located on the north shoulder. After the collision, the vehicle was moved to the right shoulder to facilitate flow of traffic. So it does show minor injuries. So
Wow,
unfortunately, you don't know, doesn't say what extremity or something ran over, but it sounds like she's going to be okay.
Okay.
She was transported to Mark Twain St. Joseph's,
Good.
and so I think all's well that ends well on that one.
One sad thing that did happen today, a 2-story home was fully engulfed by a fire on Chuckwagon Drive in Copperopolis this morning. The home was unoccupied, and the cause and cost of damages are yet to be reported. So we should probably be getting a release in the morning. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of this home this evening. That's a horrible thing to happen, to lose your home to a fire. That happened quickly too, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was very, very quick.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
I guess we need to start off with our weekend entertainment edition, John. We
We do.
haven't got onto that yet.
What other there was a couple other little pieces that we hadn't talked about. Yeah, what was that? Okay, we covered that.
The governor spoke this morning.
Yes, and the president spoke tonight. We
have, that's right, the president spoke tonight.
And I was in that other meeting, didn't get a chance to see his address. One thing is they were talking about ceremonial. At the meeting today, before the meeting, the fire meeting started, one of the people there was talking about government waste and too many positions and things like that. And one thing struck me about the governor's address today, because his was a fairly short address on the state of the state, but the introductions of all the people that politically thought that they needed to be mentioned, it took forever. There was a committee to go get him out of the cloakroom that was made up of a legislative body. Everybody on down from the lieutenant governor to the head of sanitation had to be introduced.
Wow.
I'm just joking, but it's political when the introductions for a speech take longer than the speech.
Yes.
So anyway,
so we have the inauguration coming up, the 20th, coming up very quickly.
We do.
In 5 days, right?
So what's going on this weekend, Kim?
Well, a lot is going on up at Bear Valley this week, and I will start off with that because I just got an email. It looks like there's a lot going on up there this weekend. Let me see. Winter Explosion on Saturday. Winter Explosion is an annual favorite with hours full of fun. When the lifts stop turning, we'll entertain the kids in the sunroom with a game, show, and movies while you adults relax in the Monty Wolf Saloon with live music.
There you go.
Place to dump off the kids, go have a glass of wine, right?
Yep.
Join the Torchlight Parade. Calling all intermediate and advanced skiers to enter, anybody's invited this year, to enter the Torchlight Parade. Well, you have to be intermediate or advanced, so that probably wouldn't include me. The Torchlight Parade is presented courtesy of 100 of our guests and the staff members riding and gliding down the slopes. Torch in hand, skiers and riders of all age are invited to join the fun. Space is limited. Space reservations start Saturday morning in the main office, limited to the
Hey, I wonder
first
if I could-
100 entries.
I wonder if I could tape it from within it
All right, you better even sign up.
as part of the parade.
And they are having
Yeah.
something kind of exciting going on this weekend. The beach at Bear Top is opening. Head to the slopes and relax at the beach. That's
And we
right.
talked to Martine Wittgenstein today on this, and this is going to be fun. They're going to have.
This is a new restaurant, right?
Well, it's not going to be. This is where they're eventually going to put a restaurant up there.
So you read it right. The beach at Bear Top opens this Saturday. Don't need sand to have fun in the sun. Bear Valley's beach at Bear Top is a great spot to meet up with friends, get a little grub, or wet your whistle.
Yep.
No need to head all the way down to the main lodge for a bite to eat, refreshing drink. We'll provide the beach chairs, so come on up and hang out in between runs. Fantastic views, mountain air, January in California. Gotta love it. So what's up there?
Well, they're part of the general plan, part of the master plan
What's
for
opening this
the
weekend?
hill is they're going to up at Bear Top. If you've been to Bear Valley, you know right up on Bear Top, which is the highest point on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
They have some restrooms up there now,
Okay.
some old facilities up there, and they wanted to. And Martine was joking about this at one of the presentations earlier the year. It was like the Wittgenstein Chalet
Oh, that's right.
up
yes,
there to
yes.
where basically there would be a large deck out there with a snack bar and everything else up there on top of the hill. So it sounds they're going to take that concept and do the impromptu,
Okay.
just do it this weekend.
All right. So some other events going on. Tomorrow evening is the Barbara Morrison with the Columbia Big Band in Murphy's. Columbia College Jazz Series presents Barbara Morrison with the Columbia Big Band in concert at the Black Bart Playhouse in Murphy's at 7:30 p.m. Tickets available at Murphy's Gold Country Coffee, Mountain Bookshop, Manzanita Bookstore, Murphy's Music Company, or by phone 558-5126. That's tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. We also have the Winter Explosion on Saturday. Beginner's Basic Wine Essentials class at Ironstone Vineyards. Now, I thought that was just one weekend ago, but maybe they're having a series. I'll have to double check on this, but they're saying that they're having another wine tasting class from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Ironstone Vineyards. Chef James' next 3 cooking classes are sold out. Sold out. So you snooze, you lose. You want to. I guess in the last one, they're almost sold out.
See,
So
I'm just sitting over here reading.
Okay. Let me see what else is going on this weekend. There's not a whole lot of stuff. Kind of a quiet weekend. Bret Hart Wrestling Lincoln Tourney. Let me see. That is going to be tourney at Lincoln Stockton varsity team only, starting at 9 a.m. for the Bret Hart Wrestling team. Let me see what else. Family karaoke at the World Market Mercantile on Friday night.
Karaoke?
Girls basketball MC shootout at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. Varsity only at Modesto Christian, starting at 9 a.m. Boys basketball MC shoot tourney is going to be held at Modesto Christian.
There you go.
Starting at 10:30 a.m.
So
on
that's
Saturday.
Modesto Christian Tourney.
Let me see. Cooking class. Big Tree State Park guided walks. If you're into going cross-country skiing or snowshoeing, they have guided walks, hikes, whatever you want to call it, on the snow every Saturday starting at 1 p.m. Let me see. Cooking class sold out, and that's all I have for this weekend.
That's all you have?
It's a quiet weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. So what are you doing?
I'm just reading the paper.
Just reading paper while I talk paper. We don't read newspapers. Oh!
This one we do.
Only one we read is this one, the cover
This we
photo.
do. If you come up to Bear Valley, this is a fun piece. Now this is the Cub Reporter, and the editor and publisher is Eric Jung, who is also a realtor at Bear Valley Real Estate. And this is one of those must-read things. And it's kind of some interesting stuff. Upcoming things. The 13th annual Telemark Festival is coming up, which we've had promoted on our site.
This is kind of cool that these things. Cause now, when is this coming up?
That's the Snowshoe Stomp.
When's that coming up?
I don't know.
I have an article on it.
Here, we better not. Let's see. Here we go.
January
25th.
That's
next
a
weekend.
lot of fun. Anybody can participate in this, correct?
Yeah.
I heard it's a lot of fun, and you get to go just stomp in your snowshoes. You gonna do it? You are?
Oh, I'm gonna try. And here's kind of the fun stuff, like from the sheriff's department. A distraught and hysterical motorist telephoned the Bear Valley Sheriff, reporting that he needed help getting his vehicle out of the snow. The motorist explained that his vehicle was stuck in the snow at the Chevron station and that no one would help him. After asking a few pertinent questions, we were able to determine that the motorist was in fact in Arnold.
Oh, okay.
We explained to the motorist that by the time we responded to his location,
So he was.
the snow would have melted and advised him to call AAA. So, anyway, so that's the type of...
No, we've had a couple things up here. We had a couple weeks ago, there was a little girl metaphoried out. Remember that?
There were, yeah.
Little 2-year-old little girl that hit her head on a coffee table, and then it ended up being an ear infection, I heard later.
Yep.
That was pretty scary, metaphoried out. And then last weekend we had the snowmobile accident.
Snowmobile accident, and we're probably going to let our cable audience go here in just a few
Okay.
seconds. Thank you for stopping by. We
Yes.
appreciate it. Come have a
See you
great
on
weekend.
Monday.
And if you're watching online, you get a special bonus of like 5 more minutes,
Oh,
right?
great.
Of us. I mean, what could
You
be
talk
better?
for 5 more minutes.
What could
Go
be
ahead.
better than 5 more minutes of Kim,
Oh, gosh.
right?
With my beanie and all. And by the way, this beanie says the pinetree.net across it, and that's
you're
why I
gonna be
like
able
it
to
so
order
much.
them.
You will soon be able to order your own Pine Tree apparel. We are having all this completed next week. We have baseball hats, beanies, very reasonable. Actually, wherever I wear this beanie, I get compliments on it. Everybody wants one, so we'll have them in all kinds of colors. So I know Edit Cable doesn't like when I wear it, but now that we're talking to the internet audience,
Yes.
it's my favorite beanie that says the pine tree on it, and I don't think I look so bad in it. Do you?
You look really good in it.
I actually need it.
You look really-
I need my hair to be.
You look hot in
I
a
need
beanie.
a color, so
You look hot in a
I need to wear
beanie.
my beanie. So anyway, we will be carrying the Pine Tree apparel probably starting next week.
Cool.
Cool, huh?
And also, if you're reading the Cub Reporter, he writes a column every month called the Department of Mountainuity.
Okay.
And these are hilarious. Some of these are just classics of all kinds of stuff. And it was interesting, all kinds of different stuff there. Let's see. We ran the sheriff's department. Now, when you're snowmobiling in Bear Valley, this Bear Valley Snowmobile Club, good neighbor riding rules.
Uh-oh. Have we been a good neighbor?
Always obey the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, 15 miles an hour near the village. That's a county law. Snowmobiles operating in the subdivision should have mufflers.
Okay.
Do not ride in large groups. Break up into smaller groups and ride single file. Do not let children ride alone. These are powerful machines not appropriate for children or young teens. Try to minimize riding in the subdivision. Recreational riding should be done in the forest outside the subdivision. Be aware of pedestrians and skiers.
I actually got to drive for the first time the other day. I was by myself though. You were behind me. That's right. I never driven it by myself.
No riding
Please
after
trust
10
me.
p.m. or 6 a.m. except for travel to residence or business. Don't drink and snowmobile.
I'm sure a lot of people do anyway, right?
Yes, it is illegal and dangerous to tow anyone behind a snowmobile. Homeowners should create snowmobile parking on their property off the groomed roadway. Anyway, and I guess it's one of those fun things. If you haven't spent a winter in Bear Valley where you're purely snowmobiling, you should try it. It's an experience.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Because
It
Kim's
is.
becoming Sarah Palin.
No, you don't even trust me to drive it, so I'm not yet. Not quite there yet.
You're not
He had to
quite there
sit back
yet?
of me while I drove it.
What do you mean?
I had never driven it by
You know what
myself.
it was? It was just the opportunity to sit in back.
Oh,
of you.
yes.
Yeah, that was the. That was
He doesn't
the.
trust me.
That was the
So
piece.
I'm going to get into an accident or get hurt or something, I guess, right? Are we done? I'm tired.
You tired?
Yes.
Anyway, Martin Luther King Jr. weekend up at the top of the hill. Come up and ski. Talking a little bit about stuff is Bear Valley's conditions are actually better than the resorts at Tahoe right now because actually, for some reason, I guess one of the things, it's the Bear Valley the cold temps or whatever, they've held up better there.
Okay.
And also a little thing on the fish stocking scenario. We know we've talked about this to where they were talking about having with the lawsuit in the EIR issue that we're not going to be able to stock some lakes. A bit of good news.
All right.
Spicer Reservoir is actually large enough that it is exempt, so Spicer will be stocked.
Okay.
Okay.
It will. Okay, great.
Spicer will be stocked,
How
and
about Lake
also
Alpine?
Lake Alpine will be stocked
Oh,
as
good.
well.
Good.
So it looks like some of the private parties can stock, for example, the Fish and Game Commissions from the county
That
are
would
allowed
have
to
hurt our
stock.
area up here if the people can fish.
So, just to let you know now, we know it's still snowing. We want you to come up and ski and everything else. But
Snowing.
if you're, still winter. But if you're planning for your spring and summer activities, that the area will be stocked.
Great. That's great news. I was getting worried. I mean, that really would have probably hurt our economy up here, I would imagine.
I would think so.
Not being able to fish, because there's a lot of people that fish up here. So, that's
And we
good
would
news.
like to thank the Calaveras County Visitors Bureau for advertising with us. And one of the things they're promoting is the new activity guides are in. So there's a button on our site that you can click and order a free one. They'll
Yes.
send it to you for free.
Yes.
Or you can go by the Visitors Bureau in Angels Camp and they will give you some visitors guides.
All right. Make sure you tell them the pine tree sent you. Right.
That's it, yeah. And we will see you back tomorrow night. Oh, and one other little thing is, we just heard from Bear Valley Real Estate and the rentals up here is they do have a few vacation rentals that have come available for this weekend.
They do?
They do.
Wow.
And if you mention that you heard about it on the pinetree.net, you will get a 20% discount
Wow.
on the room rates. So, in fact, we need to post.
We need to post that.
we
It's a
need to
little
put an ad
late,
up.
John. People are already headed up here.
We need to
2
put an
days.
ad up.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so for some last minute bookings, they had some units come available. So they have 15 units total.
Available?
Yes. So
Wow. Great news.
That's it.
All right.
See, you were lucky enough to get 5 more minutes of Kim, and we'll see you back here
Beating
on
it all.
Monday night. Have a great Martin Luther King
Thank you.
weekend. Go play. All right. Good night.
Good night.